of our weekly live session called Career Journeys and Prospects. This particular session and the series of the ones that we'll be doing in the next couple of weeks is sponsored by our Lagos Innovates team. And this afternoon, we have an amazing entrepreneur of ours that we'll be discussing with, Fela, who is the founder of Salubata. Good afternoon, Fela. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm very well. Thank you.
Awesome. And we're also joined by our head of startups, Lagos Innovates, Iriayo, who will be joining us in the session as well. She'll be joining us shortly in the session. And we basically will be discussing today with Fela about the different opportunities in the fashion tech space, what his journey has been like so far, what his learnings have been, his experience, and, the kind of things that you need to start up in this sector. So hi again, Fela. It's so good to have you here.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So can you give us a brief background of your experience running a fashion tech-enabled company?
Thank you so much. Yeah, we commenced officially in 2018, like May 2018 officially. So for me, it's really about trying to connect a lot of dots and trying to find solutions to some present issues facing us.
Yes.
And I personally worked as an environmental scientist and also as a business analyst. And and also been designing shoes for about 6 to 7 years. And so for us, it was really about how connecting all of those dots. And so I normally say something that if you are not elite, then you cannot really know what problems or something to face. So one of those things I always tell people is, no matter where you are, you can start. In fact, it doesn't necessarily have to be a tech company. But then, in the world of technology, and so nowadays it's really about trying to leverage on one opportunity or one information that could help you scale your business. But for me, it's really about from my saying that if you are not in it, you cannot provide, you will not be able to know an actual solution to whatever it is. So for us, it was really about the problems we faced in our business. So we did not start out as a tech company. We did not. We started out. In fact, we started out as a leather company. So we started from making leather shoes. So we felt like, okay, there's a huge opportunity in Nigeria or in Africa or maybe globally about the leather industry. But then, while we were in it, we noticed there was this problem of sizing. And so for us, that really eats deeply into about 40% of our profits. Globally, it's one of those problems people have faced. And this has resulted, especially by e-commerce. So if you operate an e-commerce, maybe and you sell fashion products, the local e-commerce or the upcoming ones, or even the very big ones, also face these issues. And so it's a problem of people returning orders due to sizing. Now there's an aspect of quality though, but once you pass that aspect of quality, then the question. So there was a time people were complaining about our products, that our products did not make sense, and so we have to really work on that. And by the time we finished working on that, we realized people were still returning products to us. So we now realized that it was a problem of sizing that really eating into the losses we've encountered. And so for us, it was really about, okay, what can we do about this? Globally, there are over $56.4 billion that have been lost annually due to this issue. But unfortunately, a lot of people just overlook it. And so for me, I think that's where the innovative spirit of an entrepreneur comes into play. That okay, so everybody's foregoing all of this, why can't I solve this? And so And it's a big pain for everyone. So, and that's why we started thinking of Soul Fitter. So we have an app known as Soul Fitter. So with Soul Fitter, you can readily scan your feet, the volume of your feet, and it captures your feet anywhere you are. And so what we have done in that case, for example, when we started, we normally have chats with customers, especially our Instagram.
Yes.
A lot of people find us via Instagram, and we normally chat with the customer maybe like 10, 15 minutes, maybe the least is 10 minutes with the customer. And for us, that is really unnecessary. So and it's really about I need to get my sizing right. I need to do something right. I need to let me draw the shape of my feet on the paper and send it to you. So all of those things are the problems we faced over time, and we felt like, okay, let's solve this. And so for us, that's how we commenced, and we felt like, okay, when we even commenced the business itself, we didn't have a lot of money, and so we felt like, okay, with a lot of people having stores, so the problem we've also seen with a lot of African entrepreneurs is that they do not consider the scale of their businesses. A lot of people want to sell their local community. While that makes some sense, but the average person that really takes over the world will already think, well, okay, how can millions or hundreds of millions or billions of people use this singular product? And it's one of those reasons for us as Salubata, the next set of products we are also releasing, we are also considering the scalability. How can we readily scale this that anybody in the world can use? So I think for us, it's really about trying to leverage on tech, particularly digital technology, and also making some available to people around the globe.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Fela. Thank you. And just to do a quick reset. So this is the Career Journeys and Prospects, sponsored by the Lagos Innovate team. And the head of Lagos Innovate has joined us. Uriah, good afternoon. Welcome.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, Amadara. Thanks for having me. And thank you, Fela, for joining us as well.
Thank you so much.
So Uriah will also be sharing with us towards the end of the session. Uriah will also be sharing with us the details of the workspace voucher, how you can access it, and who's eligible for the workspace voucher. So Fela, could you please tell us what are the common challenges that entrepreneurs face? Or maybe we should even bring it home. What are the current the common challenges what are the most common challenges that you have faced as an entrepreneur starting out and also surviving in line that you have chosen?
So thank you so much. For me, it's really a lot of people talk about money first, but for me, I would always start with team. I start with team, then money, funding, and all. So
I thought you were going to say you don't need money, but it's okay.
So the global ranking is why startups fail is they actually prioritize money over team. But for me, I would prioritize team over money. The truth is that this is not the first startup I've been in. I've been in teams that were ideas, and we kept going, and for like months, and nothing worked in the end. So we've been part of things that never worked. And one of the problems we've seen over the time is a lot of people do not have people with, do not hire. So for example, if I'm very good in sales, I should have somebody that is probably good in design, have another person that is good maybe in programming. Then that's how a product can come to life. And so for me, it's really about having people with complementary skill sets. The truth is that the fact that you find somebody as your friend and you guys probably did accounting together and you want to probably go into fintech doesn't mean you can make it happen. The truth is that your partner, you can have about 5 accountants on the team and run the whole business. So that's not the way it works. So you need people with complementary skill set, and those are the problems I personally faced when we were trying to commence that because maybe I'm a designer or I'm a business analyst, then I'm looking for, so I got it all wrong even from the beginning, and I feel like a lot of people also get it all wrong. The truth is that we have been a very big thinker even from the beginning. And so for us, it was really about the team. Then one of the problems we faced before we got to this point was funding. I realized that a lot of people do not have access to funding, and this access comes in form of information. A lot of people do not have the adequate information to scale their businesses or to. So a lot of people just wonder how do those people do all of these things, and whereas it's really just a little information that you can leverage on. And one of those things I will talk about is for example, the LSCTF voucher. And people wonder that, oh, wow, this school now have an office, and you don't know how, and you are going all the way to open a store in a place that people do not really know, and you're spending Essex even trying to start out. I think one of the leverages for LSCTF is trying to help you really start up in time and leverage on people's skills. Because coming back to talking about team, this vouchers allows you to be able to go to over 30 what's it called, workspaces where you can readily meet people. Truth is that you need, for a startup, you need similar startup energies that would readily help you push your vision. And so if you are not able to have those kind of people around, I would again say I prioritize people over money. While money makes a lot of sense, but then people come first. So it's really important that I feel like entrepreneurs starting out should really have people with complementary skill sets that can run with the same vision. And there's another problem of people having complementary skill set and not having similar visions. So it's really important to be able to find that particular alignment of goals or vision between every other persons. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Fela. Something else I wanted to ask you is, and I really like how you give your answer. You one thing, and Fela just everything. So I'm wondering, I'm not sure to ask you a question again. Maybe you should just be doing this thing on your own. Thank you for that. So I wanted to ask that, before you started working out of a hub, before you got access to the workspace voucher,
yeah.
What was your experience like working with your team? Where did you guys work? Do you have the popular worked out of a garage? Okay, well, in Nigeria, it's not a garage, it's BQ. BQ at the back. So, cafes or amala, just depending on your style. So did you have that kind of experience? And what would you say the impact of that was on your team vis-a-vis after you got the workspace voucher?
Well, for us, it was work from home. Been doing that working from home and all. For me, I looked like a company like Zappos, and Zappos is really very big, and Zappos do not.
That's one of my favorite companies.
Yeah, Zappos do not own any shoe, and they sold like more products than a lot of companies all over the world. And so what they were able to do was to leverage on the power of the internet. And so for us, even if I had a lot of money from the beginning then, I felt like I think that's a better pathway to go. As of 1999, Jeff Bezos, he saw the internet was growing at, I think, 1,200%. And it's still really growing right now. And I feel like if somebody can see the internet growing at 1,200% as of 1999, then we're in 2021. So then I feel like every entrepreneur right now should be looking really into tech, leveraging on the power of tech. So for us, it was really about starting out with leveraging on the power of the internet, on social media, on our websites. And so we believe that. So for us, we've got to even sell more products online than even people with a lot of big stores, because we believe that the internet is really there for everyone, and I feel like every other person should try and leverage on the power of the internet, no matter what you're selling, going from fintech to selling maybe furniture. You just need to find a way to leverage the power of the internet. because I really believe that this is really where we are now. And if we are not, because the internet itself will allow you to scale your innovation, it will really allow you to really rapidly scale. Then getting the workspace culture allows for things to be better for us. For example, there are some things we're not able to do, there are some meetings we're not able to set. If you are at home and you're trying to have that kind of meeting, I do not really know how a lot of our homes are, but maybe somebody might just put on a gen, or somebody might just maybe just empower disruption, and everywhere just goes dark. And so all of those tiny things can lead to distrust in an entrepreneur. And also, for me, it's really about, if I know I have a lot of important meetings, I do not do it at home. And so we really go to our space to have those kind of meetings. And so because those things really help, then beyond the meetings, it's really the kind of people you meet, the kind of information you can get. And so you need to get out of where you are and really try and mix up with people. And these workspaces are where the energy is really like. I think I'm going to stop there. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Fela. I really like how you mentioned, how you spoke about both the electricity challenges that may occur and also, being with like-minded people. Because, being in a workspace, you're right, it's so different. The energy is different. Everybody wants to change the world, There's so many people with different ideas that would either inspire you or show you how you can even manage your own business or, maybe run your company differently. And I know that there's also there are also opportunities in terms of partnerships with other entrepreneurs. Do you have any experience like this where you were able to get maybe access to information you would normally not have access to through working in the hub? Or were you able to identify some partnerships or collaborations? If they are bad, don't say it. But anyway, so I'm
yeah.
So
for us, virtually all of our tech team now have been hired from the workspaces, and and it would not have, because it's really important to have the people with the right skill sets. There is complementary skill set. There is the right complementary skill set. So I really feel it's really important for you to be able to meet the right people. Like I said earlier, the energy is different. The kind of people you meet, more people with high quality. So the truth is, a lot of people want to go into tech and they feel like, I need to learn coding, I need to do all of those things. Why that makes a lot of sense. I feel you might be wasting some time. Why not leverage on your own energy? Your strengths. Why not leverage on that and work with people that could complement your skills? So for us, it was, as I said, virtually all of our teams, our tech team have been hired via the workspaces. And it's really about somebody telling you, giving you one information about one very good guy in one place or the other. And I think it's really important. All of these things will make you spend less, and it will enable you to release very interesting products and sustainable products to the public and rapidly help you scale. Then coming to the aspect of funding, these entrepreneurs will also meet in these workspaces, also enable you to get access to some information. There's some information you will not find online. And so if you why the internet is also makes a lot of sense. There's some information you will not readily find online because you cannot readily get access to everything at once. So there's some people that can readily refer you to people. There's some people that can readily give you some contracts. So those things these opportunities are really limitless. I must say we've been a great beneficiary of that.
Amazing. I'm just asking myself now if I should work in my office or if I should work out of the workspace. Maybe I'll discuss that with Ria after this. Maybe she can help me. Because all these people that you say will have access to that, me, I don't have access to now. It's 10. So just to do a quick reset, thank you, Fela. I'm really enjoying this conversation. It's amazing. And so is Ria. She has been smiling since. So
I wanted to say something. Last week, it was what I really got from last week's conversation was that the growth in the business, where they started with 2 and ended up with 10. What I'm hearing with Fela now is the pivoting in his business. He started off with one thing, then came up with there was a problem that he needed to solve, and he was innovative about it. And this was done whilst he was in our workspace, one of our workspaces. And I find that so amazing. Fela, you haven't even spoken to the you being able to use more than one workspace, because our vouchers are universal. I liked that as well, where Fela was able to move, and then you move with a different crowd when you've worked at one workspace. But sorry to interject it there, but that story, his story is really interesting, because his business pivoted whilst he was there, and it's still tech enabled, and he can still benefit from our workspace voucher program.
Yeah. Thank you.
So from me, your guy, from me, please tell us all about it. I want to hear everything. Tell us. Can't be hiding this now. What do you mean?
I think Area, you have said it all.
No, she has not said it all. We want to hear.
But Omadara, he said he started off as a leather. He said he started off as a leather company. Then they started selling shoes. But whilst they were in the workspace, they found that they had the issue of people returning, and then they pivoted and did Soulfitter, right? Which both, like, it's just amazing how you've not only grown, you've innovated your business whilst you've been in the workspace and the workspaces.
Yeah, so again, yes, why this workspace vouchers makes a lot of sense. I think all of this is really dependent on the entrepreneur. And if you are not, I feel like it's really important for you to dream really big. Like I was trying to say the other time, that the way a lot of people start really, the way you start really matters. And if you start trying to think about the people in your family that you can sell products to, or people in Lagos, I think it's really important to start thinking really well now. And I feel it's really, and beyond trying to even think, you need to make a lot of research about, okay, what is really happening? Where is it what tending to? Okay, like in the next 10 years now, next 10 decades, this decade, 2030, is a decade of sustainability. And so if you do not understand all these kind of things, your time will never come. And so it's really important that you get the right kind of information, and you need to really make research about, okay, so what kind of tech opportunities, what kind of tech can I leverage on so my business can really pivot. While I was with Uriah on the radio last week, I was talking about Disney, that Disney started with cards, physical cards. They started making cards, and they sold noodles before, and now they a full tech company. And so it's really, they keep seeing opportunities, and they keep pivoting. And I really think yes, the voucher will really help you, but as an entrepreneur, you really need to get the OGs that you can be in the space. And aside, you might not be able to, those things are really very important, that people will bring out the real things in you. But you need to also be able to understand that aside this opportunity, you also need, this is also really dependent on yourself. So really dependent. So some people will just even come to the workspace and just be on their own. And you see that, well, this guy Bill Gates, even if you're the Bill Gates, you still need to make a lot of networks and connections. You need to be part of communities. And these are what these workspaces will really give to you. And so even if you travel out of the country, you still need to act as an entrepreneur, because I feel like for every startup, the whole essence is for you to be able to achieve what it took some very big businesses, maybe some 100 years to attain, maybe in 5 years. And so you need to really, the thoughts really need to be very rapid. And I feel like, yes, this opportunity of the workspace voucher makes sense here, but I think the whole thing is really also dependent on the entrepreneur, because there's a lot of people that would even take the workspace vouchers and not even go to the workplace, and their business will remain stagnant or die off. So I feel like it's really important that, beyond the vouchers, why it makes a lot of sense, you as a person, it's really important, your networking skills, for you to be able to, we really need to put in a lot of work, even into the research we make about, especially the technologies that are, so like in this decade now, what people are really doing is around clean technology, it's around digital technology, it's around financial technology, it's really around clean technologies, around sustainability. And so you just wonder, if you are 30 years old today, in 40 years time, if you are doing the wrong thing, you'll just be wondering why everything just went past you. So the aspect of research is really very important. And well, the what's called the voucher will really help to leverage, enable you to leverage on all of those opportunities. But as I said again, the entrepreneur is even more important than even the voucher. Yeah, thank you so much.
Anyway, I do like the points that you mentioned before you said the entrepreneur was before the voucher. I do not like that. It was really, it's even as important as the voucher. I do not like that part. But I get your point, and I agree with you in the sense that it's just like when you give somebody funding and he hasn't prepared for the opportunity, right? And the money just goes down the drain. There's no point really because he hasn't put what he's supposed to put in place for the money to work for him. And it's true with the voucher as well, because you're right. Some people go to workspaces and they don't make the most of it. Sometimes they don't go, sometimes they don't network with anybody. They leave there, they have no partnerships, they haven't met anybody, they have no collaboration, they don't have access to information, and you begin to wonder why. So now that we're kind of like appointing you as the class captain of making sure people do right with this voucher. It's an unofficial position, by the way. I would like you to share like top 3 tips that you think will be beneficial to people if they get this workspace voucher. So let's say you sign up, you're part of the tech companies that get access to our workspace voucher. What are the top 3 tips of what you think you can do to truly leverage this opportunity?
Well, it's really about first. I must say that for you to apply successfully, I have a course on Udemy that you can take, and so this course talks about how you can successfully build a pitch deck and win a lot of funding or competitions or grants or even this voucher. I think you can start with that. I'm going to post a link into this message, so you can find that. You can go and register at Udemy. Right now, it is just $9 from about $150. So it's about just $9.
I'm sending you my invoice. I'm sending you our invoice for advert slot, by the way.
So I must say that I'm going to share the link right now. But beyond the link, it's really about So with that, to a very large extent, I believe that you'll be able to get the voucher. And also your business is very important. Like it's been said, that it must be tech enabled. And so it's really important that, so tech enabled doesn't necessarily mean that your project must be digital. So it can be physical, but you're using tech to push your business. And that is what tech enabled business means. So it's really important that you position for that. And yes, sorry, I must say again that it's really important that you position for scale. You need to really have big dreams. And beyond applying or taking my course, getting into the workspace, it's really important that you be able to network and also make a lot of, network with a lot of people. There are some very, very great hubs with that are not of the best standard, but the kind of people in those places are really more important than even those very fancy offices. And I feel like those things would really help you. The kind of networks you have, you take my course, and beyond taking my course, you go to what's called your business must be tech enabled, and it's really very important that you try as much as possible to leverage on tech. And these are just basic things like trying to leverage on social media or even trying to build one. Or it's really just very important that we and you also need to also have understanding that the business, what will really distinguish you from every other person out there is your offering, your value proposition. And I believe that with this, you can be successful in those spaces. Thank you.
Welcome. Fela, I feel like I'm going to send you 4 invoices now because I was counting. So all the times you mentioned, you will put your link in my chat. But anyway, the good thing is, that really is why Lagos Innovates is set up. It's not just about, even outside the workspace vouchers, we're happy to see the great work our entrepreneurs have done after that. we're happy to see the partnerships, the different and platforms that we've also been able to provide for them. So for that reason, I'll probably send you the invoice and, maybe give you a discount or something, just because Lagos Innovate is set up for that purpose. But I also wanted to ask, making that very important move to setting up Soul Fitters in addition to Salubata, I'm really curious as to how you felt making that decision. Were you scared? Were you scared regarding maybe funding? Were you scared regarding your resources generally, the kind of capacity you had, especially because it's not like Salubata had existed for like 1,000,000 years or like 10 years or something like that before you introduced a new one. So obviously there was a lot of risk involved, I reckon. Yeah. So I just want to know how you felt and why you thought it was the best time to take an advantage of that opportunity or this new thing that you had discovered.
Oh yeah, thank you. So I must say that before we moved to the workspace itself, we had contracted this project to some Indian developers, and in the end, we just wasted all the money. And so for us, getting into the workspace, the truth is that we are very, very talented people, especially developers in Nigeria, or other people at least ever see that. But the truth is that they're very, very talented people that actually even work remotely, people in European or in North American countries. So for us, it was, we're not scared, but we're just really skeptical about the outcome of the project. So, because I understand that skill set is really very important, and if you're able to get people, the right types of people able to do this, there's going to be a big problem. And so, and why we started Flowfita was, as I said, was because of the problem we're facing. And so, let's talk about how we can make people, even our competitors, even use our own products. And so we felt like, okay, beyond just trying to want to make their own businesses better. And so right now we are currently developing plugins that people can infuse, attach to their websites, and people can. So what you're just doing is just paying a small fee, and the plugin is readily available to everyone. And so, in fact, we're really thinking so much that we're thinking we could partner with a brand like Amazon, and also the likes of Jumia and Konga, to help them reduce the losses they encounter. And so it was really about trying to solve a problem. But starting out, there was no fear. There was only some level of with this work with these guys. Can these guys be trusted? And also, and one of those very important reasons you can also work with developers here is that you're in the same workspace. You can readily manage them and really work with them, and also unlike somebody that you cannot really see. And also for us, it was really about all of these factors, and you're also paying less. And so for us, it's just really about that. There was no fear. In fact, for this, after 2018, we were invited to a TED talk, that's TEDx Yaba, to talk about this innovation. And so for us, it goes beyond just trying to sell shoes. It's really, for us, we see ourselves as a tech company. And people see, a lot of people see us as a shoe company. But then a lot of people are getting to realize that since this guy are doing just beyond shoes, what we are trying to do is, our mission right now is to invent lifestyle technologies that help people and the planet. And so, lifestyle could be anything. It could be anything. So you could just see us one day that we're now making cars or something. So for us, it was the imagination is actually really limitless. And so for us, it's really about what we can do to ease the lives of people. And I think that will be it. Thank you.
Yeah, I love the energy, and I just wanted to say that I'm just so led by everything you've said and how you've approached your companies. And I'm not inspired to become an entrepreneur. Some of us, our work is to promote entrepreneurs. But it inspires me to even do more of what we do at Lagos State Employment Trust Fund. Really to promote this dream that a lot of entrepreneurs have and support them in every way we can. And I also, okay, no, before I get to that, I wanted to say you also come off to me as somebody that, will probably launch a lot of successful companies, and I really hope it's so. And I was going to say that when you get to that point, please just remember my full name is Omodara Adeziro. Even if you forget Iriayo, even if by any chance you forget Iriayo, your kingdom, just remember me, my full name, Omodara Adeziro. I can send you a CV if you want. But really, I do feel like, with the way you've spoken and everything, I see the energy, I see the commitment, and the true passion that a lot of entrepreneurs have with the balance of also working with customer insights, market insights, and all that. So it's really great to watch. And I noticed that you also have a good idea of what the market is saying, what the future of tech is, what customer insights are, and what opportunities are, generally for entrepreneurs. And I wanted to ask if how you. So, do you read a lot of books, for example? Because there are a lot of people who watch this. I'm sorry, just before we go on, please send in your questions on whatever platform that you're coming that you're tuning in from, so that we can take on the it or who is eligible to or whatnot. So yes, Fela, I was saying there are lots of people who are either aspiring entrepreneurs or whatnot that will be watching this live session either at the moment or and I wanted to ask that how do you get access to this kind of information? Do you read a lot of books? Do you have subscriptions that platforms that you're subscribed to? How do you basically build on these insights that have an impact on your business? How do you get this knowledge? How do you, yeah, because with all the facts and figures that you've thrown on this live session, we know. So yeah, I just wanted to know so that other people can benefit from that as well.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you so much. Yeah. I do not read a lot of books, and I must be sincere. I do not read a lot of books, but I read a lot of very what's it called? Very deep books. And because for me, yes, I've read a lot of books, but I'm not. I really concentrate my energy on very deep books. One of those very nice ones I would recommend is 0 to 1. If you could read.
That's my book. That's my book, Peter.
Yeah. So so if you read 0 to 1, and another one I would recommend is Anti-Fragile. And if you read Anti-Fragile, for me, Anti-Fragile is still the best book for any innovator in the world to date. And a lot of people don't know about it. I think it's Nicolas Taleb. And so that is by the side. But all of those things will really give you a new level of thinking about how you can approach the market, how you can really scale your business. And beyond that, I think a lot of this is also dependent on the person. For me, I think a lot of this is actually innate. And yes, some of those things can be enhanced, but for me, it's innate, and I work really very hard. And when I look at a lot of people too, I feel a lot of people are also lazy. And when it comes to, I could maybe in a day, okay, let me tell you, for example, since 2019 till what's it called, till now, we make sure that we find opportunities at least 2 per day. And so at least 2 per day since 2019 January till now. And so and we do not leave. So if you see something, we do it immediately. If you see an opportunity, we work on it immediately. And so for us, it's really about trying to. So as I said, maybe your own case might not be in it. Maybe some books can do that for you. But I think research will really do that for you. Yeah, books are a form of research, but intense research would really help you to come across all of these things. I know Twitter has been like banned in Nigeria, but Twitter is a huge source of. Twitter has the algorithm on Twitter allows you to be able to for anybody to post any kind of opportunity. So Twitter is the biggest blog out there. Unlike there's some other blogs you can find, but for me, I think you're not just going to Twitter to share people something, but I feel like that's really, Let me give you a practical example. Now, if you go on Twitter I'm sorry, maybe Twitter has been banned, but maybe when it's being released, maybe I think I can hear some information about government releasing Twitter, but maybe when it is released, if you go on Twitter, you just say startup apply or entrepreneur apply. You see a lot of global opportunities, and you click on the latest opportunities. You see, you'll be tired. And so, with all of these things, it was via somebody in a startup space that told me about all of these things, and I felt like, wow, I didn't know all of these things existed. And so, all of these things will give you the mind that this is what the world is tending to, because when you keep making applications to places and they feel like, okay, this is not what we want, this is not what we want, then so what you do in that case is start trying to bank on those opportunities. Okay, so the world is tending towards sustainability. Right now, for us, we are currently making shoes from recycled plastic waste. And for me, although I had an environmental background, I had some challenges with that. And we understand that clean tech is really a big deal everywhere in the world now. And so for me, it was really about, okay, yeah, we have some customer base and we have some following on our social media. Why not just leverage this? And personally, I have a background in environmental science. And so all of this is just comes together. And I feel like, I believe that is the best way to really go for any entrepreneur out there. I feel one, information is really very important. But yes, like I said again, the entrepreneur is really very important. And so the investment you make in yourself is really very important. And so I feel like you should not be scared to take a step. The truth is, yeah, I've failed several times, but I feel like it's really important that all of these things will put you on the right track. And I was trying to say again that I feel like a lot of people are not so hardworking. I don't know, I'm not saying you should work yourself out, but a lot of people procrastinate a lot of things. And I feel like if you are able to come across these opportunities, why not attack it immediately? Leverage your business on this immediately. The truth is that the fact that maybe you are so popular for something and it is not working, doesn't mean you should continue. It's either you pivot or you invent another business entirely. And so I think that's one of those problems a lot of people face, that, oh, people know me for this, and if it's not working, it cannot continue. So you need to retweak the business, you need to pivot, or you totally change the business model entirely, or do another business. So I think all of these things might, in a way, or some ways, help it.
Awesome, thank you. Awesome, thank you for that, Fela. Thank you. I mean, it's been really insightful. You shared a lot of gems that I'm sure that so many people will benefit from. And I think now we would have a discussion with Iriayo to really tell us about the workspace voucher, what it's about, how it can be accessed, and the people who are eligible for it.
Hello, everybody again. So if I start off with the Lagos Innovates unit at LSETF, what we're mandated to do is creating an enabling environment for all tech-enabled startups or innovation startups. The Workspace Voucher Program is specifically aimed at very early stage founders and startups from ideation to seed stage. And what we do is we provide access to infrastructure, which gives the startup or the founder and the startups more headroom. You're not thinking about operational costs, you're not thinking about light, you're not thinking about data, to pretty much focus on building your venture. And we do this by providing you access to well-equipped workspaces and collaborative environments. And Fela spoke to that networking is really important when you're a startup. You can't do it. You can't develop a product in a silo and expect it to be applicable for the people that are demanding the services that you're offering. So the program is a voucher program, and we provide discounts from about 30% to 75% of membership costs for any of our Lagos Innovate partner homes or co-working spaces, as we like to call them. And the period is from 3 months. You issued either a 3-month voucher, a 6-month voucher, or a 12-month voucher, depending on what stage your business is at. So what are the benefits of this program? You have access to stable electricity, you have access to stable internet, you have an accessible location, you have office address. So like Fela mentioned, he was previously working from home. If you're going to meet clients, would you invite them to your home, or would you rather have an office to invite them to? And we provide a space where you can leverage on the other startups that are working there. So Fela again spoke to the energy of founders and people that are working on ideas just like yourself, where you can drive innovation and focus on your business. To be eligible for this this intervention, you need to be a tech-enabled business, you need to be a resident of Lagos State, and that's pretty much it. Our portals are currently opened, and you can apply for the voucher program. I mean, I don't see why anybody wouldn't apply for it if you needed the assistance or the intervention.
Thank you very much, Uriayo. Thank you for explaining that so clearly. I see that there's a question here. Someone's asking, this workspace, does it take in big equipment businesses?
I was muted. So when you say big equipment, we're not providing space for you to put your products. We're providing a workspace for you to go and work with your laptop. Depending on like I mentioned, we have different voucher stages. So voucher A might be for one person, voucher B might be for 1 to 3 people, and voucher C, like if you were tuned in last week, where one of our beneficiaries got a space for a whole team of 5, so 5 or 6 people. So we don't have spaces for you to bring your products to come and sell from because you're tech enabled.
Thank you. Thank you for answering that first. Yes. Oh, okay. Anyway, I'm not the one supposed to answer, but yeah, yeah, I guess it does. So please, if you have any more questions, you can send. Please do not hesitate to go to the website. We've put in the website right there. You see it flash up now. So please go to the Lagos Innovates website, and you can get all the details to sign up for the workspace voucher. The applications for this are hot. You might want to get yours in immediately and not wait to the very last minute. As Fela has advised us, it's Fela we're all following now. Don't procrastinate. Make sure you get ASAP so that it's reviewed and we can determine what the status will be. So thank you very much, everyone. I feel like this was a very insightful session. Fela, once again, please don't forget my name because I know you blow very soon, So at any point, like I said, you can forget Uriayo. She's all right. But me, don't forget me in your kingdom. Thank you very much. And thank you everybody thank you very much for coming on. Yes, and thank you, Uriayo, for joining as well. Thank you everybody who has joined in. Don't forget to go to our website. It's right there where you can get the details of the workspace voucher. Next week we would have another edition of the Career Journeys and Prospects, another tech-enabled entrepreneur, and it's sponsored by the Lagos Innovates team. Thank you everybody and have a beautiful afternoon. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Don't forget me, Fela.